Good evening, I'm Dominic Video, and thanks for joining us. Tonight, hundreds of students and community members came together to raise money for an amazing cause. Their Aruna 5K is ran to raise money for survivors of human trafficking. Events like these help pave the way to make sure that all survivors of this awful act can maintain lifelong freedom by providing transitional housing, skills and trade development, therapy, and so much more.
The more that we do this, the more awareness that we can cause, and the more money we can donate to these people we can raise and give them to provide them with a life that's been kind of stolen from them. So kind of give them something that might have been impossible earlier.
350 people participated in the run, which was held on the University of Minnesota Duluth campus. All of the money raised from the event goes directly into supporting these survivors with a goal to raise $30,000.